And once again, we are back. This is a Finisher Friday, and I can't think of a better way to finish the week than with my friend. I call him Rocco. Business people know him as JJ. He is one of the most innovative entrepreneurs I know. I'm fortunate that I met him when our sons were playing football together, which seems like 100 years ago. But we watched football together for so many years. We got to know each other. We've had highs and lows. He now is a principal at the Coral Springs Auto Mall, and he's doing business, and he's here. Rocco, it's your chance to tell us something good. Go, baby.
Well, we're doing business, and we've been open. We've had a couple times cities try to close us down, and, you know, it was kind of that I said to the guys, persistence removes resistance, so we just kept pressing and pressing. But we're open, and we're doing our thing. I think that for my guys, I had a really, really productive meeting this morning and with some of my key guys. And the thing about them is they're young. So they've really never been through, most of them, 10 years in the business. The last 10 years for us have been really good. And the core to what I brought up to them today is everybody I've met, especially my employees. I got 450 employees just here at this auto mall. They think there's going to be a switch, right? It's going to be, okay, this is over. Like the hurricane came through and now we take the wood off the windows and we go to work. And I heard something a while back, and I really try to preach this to my kids and people I know. And you've grown up in this environment where, you got to grind, you got to grind, you got to grind. Well, I realized as I got older, like I'm grinding and I'm still grinding, and I didn't enjoy things along the way. And I see a lot of people in that world, right? Like they're grinding like there's going to be a finish line. I think to do it, you got to grind as you go, grind.
Love it.
Play, grind, play, So a lot of these guys had never been where they are today. And so we had a meeting that spun off of, we're in this right now. We're living our life today. Our life is right now today. You're living it. And this business right now, and we had some epiphanies go on. I said, we're in the what do they call it? The curve. I said, so our curve is just going to keep moving up, we hope. But you guys have to stand there. No one's going to, get on the news tomorrow and say, all right, we're good. We're going back to normal. We will. And I think that's been the mentality of,
right.
My kids are 20. When is this going to be over?
Right.
But it don't work that way. It's 9/11 still not over, right?
It's so interesting you say that, because in a lot of this work that I do, people are waiting for someone else to give them permission. And this is a perfect example where you're not going to get permission. You got to sort of feel your way through it. You've always been really motivational with your people. I know for years you've stood in front of large sales staffs and done it. This one has to be a little bit more unique, but the motivation is still the same, correct?
The motivation today. So I saw this behavior especially the last week or so, and I went home. I'm frustrated. I'm writing. I had everybody come in. Everybody on their day off come in today. All my key people. And my initial was going to come in and say, you guys need to get off your ass, but they're off their ass as much as they know how to get off their ass right now. I mean, they're doing what they know to do, and they're still freaked out. They're freaked out about their bills. They're freaked out. So my cadence this morning was completely different. I mean, they came in with bulletproof vests on, right? They were all masked up, and I just kind of leaned back and I said, this is now this is going to be your first real challenge on, not how you grind through this, but how you see yourself evolve and how quick we can get ahead of it. And it's the minute you accept it, you guys need to accept it now that this is where we are. Nobody's coming along to save us, and how quickly we get through it is how we execute plans. And how I said, but here's what I used. I used March 8th, we had a little party here. That was less than 30 days ago. We were rolling. 30 days, we went from this to where we are today, right? So I said our business dropped in half. Our way of doing business dropped in half. So that was 30 days ago. We couldn't stop. I said we couldn't stop what happened. Have we changed that much in 30 days, or are we still doing things the way we did them 30 days ago? Because everything else changed. How much have we changed? And really, in a very cadence that didn't scare some of these young people, and we started just going through some philosophical ways of looking at this. And I think at the end, my goal was to make them understand this is where we are. And let's start. I said, if you guys were all gone, I fired everybody, laid everybody off a week ago when this happened. And I said, you know what, I'm going to get some guys in here that are going to get me through this. And I just hired all you guys. You wouldn't be thinking about what it was a month ago. You'd be on this new program with me to say, we're going to build this company from 200 cars back to 400 cars back in the day. But you guys are still thinking about what happened a month ago. We're still looking at the old days, and the old days are gone, and these are the new days. And so I got some finally.
I love that. That is so true. People are stuck in what was. And for guys like you and me, we've always lived peaks and valleys. I mean, I thought there were times I couldn't even figure out how to pay the people I had, regardless of the economic situation. So, you know, if you get stuck in what was, that's really telling. But I think what's so fascinating, it was fascinating to me, is you're still selling 200 plus cars a month.
Well, there's dealers that are closed too. So it was, you know, some of our competitors just closed the doors, and I think at that point they were going to ride this out. What's happened with us is I said, look, we're going to adapt quickly. We're doing things I've never. We have people in hazmat suits spraying cars and bringing them to people's houses and putting, you know, the paperwork through the dog door, and they're handing it back through the dog door with plastic gloves. And so we adapted really quickly to some of the things that were obvious you had to do. Where, let's talk about the dealers that are closed and so on. When they open their door back up, they're going to still be stuck in the 80s, which was a month ago, you know. Exactly. And it was, you know, we were just quick to adapt. I come from, and I these guys today, you know, most of my life I've lived beyond my means. You know, I was making $5,000, spending $7,000, and I spent a big part of my career in Ohio, and we sold cars. You know, we get 5 months worth of snow, and snow stacked up this high on the cars. And remember, I was still, my bills were the same. My mortgage was still as high. And a lot of dealers or a lot of people in business just chilled through the winter, which I would have liked to have done. But I was too strung out financially. So it's all right, we're going to get here. We're going to get everybody to get the snow off these cars. We're going to make 100 outbound calls a day. So I learned survival in this 1/4 of the year. And actually, and that's why I explain to these guys, I thrived. I ended up increasing my marketing in the winter. I ended up increasing my head count in the winter. And that's what we're doing like right now. This is my winter where I asked my guys, hey, has anybody's mortgage changed? Has anybody's kids' school got less? And, you know, and I said, this is winter for me. It's a long winter. You know, it's a lot of snow and ice, but I said, that's how we did things. We just said, we're not participating. And I've always been like that, Steve. I've always been a little strung out in optimism financially. And so I've always said I didn't participate in the '08 recession. I didn't participate in the oil drop in Houston when I was there. I didn't participate in 9/11 because I couldn't participate.
You know what?
I didn't have a
part of our friendship for me, like, you know, I'm this optimist to other people, and other people take that, my energy and my stuff. You were one of the I loved hanging out with you because you're that way about everything in life. Let's go, let's do, let's explore. You've always been that guy that's been on the front end of trends and, you know, technology. I remember not too long ago, we were talking about what your sales staff was doing using video to outreach to people. And you were way ahead of the curve. I was like, I couldn't even believe that in a car environment, you were having these personalized videos go out. So it really comes down to how you perceive where you are and what you do about it.
Well, this also is, you know, I've realized I'm a crisis guy too. So as much as I hate this, I love it. You know, I'm looking at it. Wow, if we do this now, how can we do this for the next 10 years? And so there's a lot to be learned in these deals. You know, a lot of companies came out of '08 much better than they went in. And I'm enjoying reinventing, you know, new ways to get past this. You know, what are people thinking? You know, we were the first ones to buy these um, uh, sanitized car things, 20 minutes, it oxidize. I mean, I don't know what the hell it does, but it kills every germ and bacteria in the car. And we were bringing wreckers to people's houses and plugging those in, and people were seeing it happen. And those are things, we found them in Minnesota and had them overnighted, and I forget what they cost. I didn't care what they cost. It's kind of like that, let's make it work. How much are they? What's the difference how much they are? If they're 2,000 or 8,000, that's 3 car deals for us.
Wow.
Well, it's been a fun, terrible 60 days, but I'm seeing light now.
I like your analogy about the winter, because everything is a season. This is not going to last forever. We'll come out of it different, but there are natural ebbs and flows to business, and the muscles you're exercising now, to your point, will make you much stronger when things do get back to whatever normal there is.
Oh, we said that today. I said, so our outbound call team is used to making 100 outbound calls a day. We're pressing them now to make 150. As business starts to trend up, we're not going to say, okay, we're cool now, let's go back to 100. We're going to realize we can do 150, and that'll be the new normal, and that's probably going to be the case in a lot of stuff that we do. We had a whole outside company that were, taking care of our service customers. We had to let go of them, and now we've got our own people doing that. We're not going to bring them back as things evolve. To me right now, it's not, you don't have to be, you don't have to think about what we're going to do when the lights come back on. I think it's like a dimmer switch, right? It's just going to be going and going and going. And hopefully someday that light is fully on. But in the meantime, it's a lot of mentality right now. For anybody that's listening to this, your employees, most of them, my kids, when's this going to be over? It isn't. 9/11. What happened in 9/11? A month later, we're TSA, and you had to take your shoes off and all that shit. And you were thinking, when's this going to be over? Here we are. I don't know.
Never. Right.
It never changed. We may be doing things we're doing now forever. We may be selling cars 6 foot apart from our customers for a long time. So let's just get really good at it.
So my audience knows, and we've gained a lot of traction since we started this. We've been pumping stuff out there. Tell everybody what Carl Springs Auto Mall is, what cars you're doing, and I can tell my audience straight away, I would never buy a car without you. I never have since we met. I never will. You've been my friend in the auto business, which you really need.
It's always nice to have that guy, So we've got 4 unique piece of property. So we've got 4 big dealerships. We've got a huge Honda store, top 5 Nissan store in the country. We've got a big Kia store and a Buick GMC store. And then I've got another Nissan store up in St. Augustine. So a little Nissan store in St. Augustine. We employ about 450 people. I think today we got about 410. We've hung on. We're trying to get the government to help us pay them for the next couple months. And that's going well, I believe. So we'll be able to keep our entire staff, which is
nice.
Really, when this happened and when that became I'd never had this many people individually looking at me. So we're right now, we haven't laid anybody off, and we think we're going to get through this, relates to that. So our approach is, I'm not, I really try to get away from like this crisis we're dealing with. I had ad agencies proposing me these commercials. We're here to help. We're in this time of crisis, we're here to sell cars. The deals are really good. I'd like to help you get a new car, but just all that. Yeah, the factory's giving us a lot of money. We're going to make it super easy and bring the car to your house, but I'm really not here to. I'm here to help your car, transaction go easy. I'm here to help you save a couple of bucks, but we didn't start a charity to sell cars.
It's fascinating. As soon as this thing hit, I think everything I've ever bought, I got an email from the CEO, from like Neiman Marcus. Oh, we care about you, and bullshit. That's not
right.
Marketing.
So we nixed all that. I think it's offensive. What we're seeing right now, which is, which we've always seen in our country, and another piece I've explained to my team this morning is there are opportunists to position themselves to be opportunists. There's opportunists I think Warren Buffett, I read, had $150 billion on the sidelines in cash waiting for some of this. So he's an opportunist, and we've got, somebody told me, well, it's slow. It's slow. We're not. I said, let me ask you guys something. I know it's slow, and I know we're wearing face masks. I know there's this pandemic going on. But if we had Nikes in here, millions of them, 50% off, how slow would it be?
It wouldn't be.
People up here with their face mask, and we doing drawer drops and all that. And so we're just really trying to pass on the savings and make people understand there is legitimate money out there. These manufacturers are desperate for their piece of the pie. Really, it's a great time to get a car if you can, if your circumstances are there. But that, we're slow and all that type of stuff. And I use that example. I've used it many times. If iPods were 50% off, earpods, whatever, there'd be a line on it. We'd have the fire department here.
Really cool.
We'd have so many people in the building,
I mean, you have always had this great perspective. In one closing thought, what would you leave people with something good? You've already imparted such great knowledge, and I think it's so great to see a leader of a big organization, 400 plus people, that you care. I know how, like you just shared, you just had Anthony's and you had, Frank Sinatra on. It's all experience. It's like, so what would you leave us with as one parting, tell me something good?
Well, I think everybody got to work like they're broke. You've heard that your whole time. I'm seeing the people that work for me that have a little bit of cushion are working less. So that can really come out to bite you in the ass. So I think that if we all just buckle down and remember where we came from and we work like we're broke, we get through this financially anyway. And I'm talking about financially a whole lot better. And the other part of it is I've embraced it, Steve. I mean, you know me, I'm a workaholic. But as tough as this is to admit, and I hope your show does, and I'm sure it does go to a lot of people, I've enjoyed this too. I've enjoyed this quietness. If every car dealership in the United States was closed down, I wouldn't have batted a tear, but there are a bunch of them open. So I got to be in here getting my piece of the pie. But, I've enjoyed this for a lot of reasons, just the quietness. I think there's going to be a part of me that's going to be, God, we're back to that, and, it'd be an hour wait to eat and so on. So I've learned some stuff about myself through this. I would have never thought I could admit that. And, it really kind of goes down to, I'm living my life today, not tomorrow. I'm in the grind, but I'm living today. And I think a lot of people should take that perspective. We're all going to look back on this and probably a part of us is going to miss it. I know there's people in super hardships, but that's how I feel.
That's an awesome send off, genuine and authentic as you always are.
Just don't tell nobody, all right?
I love you, buddy, man. I'm sending everybody to buy a car from JJ. So you're going to be inundated with, you and Chris going to be busy, man.
Bring it on.
You love you, dude.
You and the kids take care, man. And we'll, I've been doing virtual little cocktail parties. If you want to have a beer, just do this and
I'm in, man.
We'll share. We'll share a beer.
Man. Be good. Say hello.
I love you guys.
Bye-bye.
You got it, buddy. Bye.